Today greetings to you children. So we are here to deal with class 11 business studies. So what is the first unit that we are seeing as of now? It is nature and purpose of business. In this you have already discussed what is business, the concept of business, and here we have seen the classification of business. That is what we are learning in detail now. So business, as you may remember, is classified into two different activities. One is the industry and another one is commerce. So industry is again further classified into three, which is primary, secondary and tertiary industry. So what is industry basically about? It is a part of business activity and it is an economic activity which deals entirely with the production of goods and services. So industry or work in it deals only with what? Production of goods and services. There only we have seen the primary industries, secondary industries and tertiary industries. And then when we move on to the second division of business is what we call as commerce. Commerce is further divided into two, which is called trade and auxiliaries to trade. Now trade, what is trade? Trade is very simple to explain. It is buying and selling of goods and services is termed as trade. When we say that buying and selling of goods, we can also talk about the exchange of goods. So earlier there was a system called barter system where we will just transfer the goods. If I give you wheat, you give me cotton. So when Punjab is producer of wheat and we, Tanjore, Tamil Nadu, we are the highest producers of rice. So what do? Instead of selling it, we just exchanged the goods. That was called barter system. So what happens with trade? It deals with the buying, selling or exchange of goods and services. Now what is the second part of commerce? It's called the auxiliaries to trade. Now that is what we are going to see in detail. And which is the lesson that we are going on with now? Nature and purpose of business. We are continuing with unit 1, which is nature and purpose of business. In that, as of now, we are discussing about the classification of business. Talking about classification of business, we have, so for example, if you want it into a small flow chart, flow charts help you a lot, like mind maps, concept maps help you a lot in understanding a unit or chapter or a particular topic very easily. So we have business and it is again divided, classified into two. We have industry, we have commerce, right? And we have seen that industry is further divided into primary, secondary and tertiary. Now tertiary industry is all about the services. This is a very important industry, not only for the prosperous growth of primary and secondary industries, but we need the use of tertiary industries for even commerce. What is commerce? It is the combination of trade and auxiliaries to trade. Okay, so what is commerce? Commerce is the combination of, it involves the activities that are related with trade. Trade means what? Buying or selling of goods, and auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries means what? That facilitates, that helps you, that assists you in trade. Nama trade பண்றதுக்கு helping உதவியா இருக்கிற மற்ற activities நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்? Auxiliaries to trade. So this is what you have learned so far in your first unit, primary industry or secondary industry. Now what are you going to do? It does not stop there. Your business does not stop with producing the material or the goods and services. Your business will complete or it will go on only if you move it. You have to sell the goods. Right? And before you start producing, what do you need? You need to buy raw materials. So that also comes under trade. You need to buy the raw materials so that your production starts. After your production is over, what do you have to do? You are coming again to trade where you are going to sell the things. So commerce plays a very important role in this side of business activities also. Okay students, so we are going to discuss what are the activities that help us in trade, that helps us in movement of the goods and services. The first one is auxiliaries of trade. What is the important topic that we are discussing now? We are discussing auxiliaries to trade. That is the activities that help you to buy or sell your goods or please exchange your goods. Okay. What is the first thing that comes here? The first thing that comes here is transport and communication. Now both of these very important for trade. Transport. We are in Namakkal and it is very essential for us to know about transport because it involves a lot of transport, bodybuilding work, story, all these stuff. So talking about transport, why do we need transport? Why is it essential? Or how is it going to help the trade? How? For buying the raw materials. Okay, the raw materials are in one part of the nation. We'll take for instance manufacturing like a construction company. Okay, we are going to take for instance a construction company. There is an assignment for them to construct a building. What they have to do? They have to bring in the raw materials, cement, brick, everything they have to bring in. Can we take the entire building or construct the building where raw materials are available? It's not possible, right? Because each raw material will be available in different places. You cannot go to different places with your products or your factory to make your or produce your product. So what you have to do? You have to bring in the raw materials to the place of production. How does it happen? With the help of transport. Only with the help of transport you can bring in the raw materials that are required for your construction. Only then it happens. So if you are going to build a home in Trichy and if you want to buy something from, you're going to buy some tiles or you're going to buy, okay, we'll keep tiles. You're going to buy some tiles from Sivagasi. How does it happen? It happens only with the help of the activity that is called as transport. Okay? Now we have got raw materials. Fine. There it helps. Buying of goods or buying of raw materials. There we need transport. Do we need it even in selling? Of course we need it. For example, we will take a soap company that works in Karnataka. Okay, a very famous soap company that works in Karnataka. Is it so that only the people who live in Karnataka use that particular soap? No, it is available all through the country. How is it possible? It is possible with the help of transport. Even though it is produced in Karnataka, it is made available to the consumers all through the country. Even it is being exported to other countries also. In trade we have seen about import, export and end import, right? So exporting also is possible only with the help of transport. So if you are going to export, we are seeing in many advertisements that our products are available even in America, even in London, even in foreign countries our products are available. They say in their advertisements. How is it possible? It's just possible because of the help of the wonderful auxiliary that is for the transport. We are able to ship it there. We are able to ship it there. It goes over sea or maybe by air, it reaches to the particular destination of various consumers and it is becoming worldwide only with the help of transport. Coming back to communication. Okay, we have understood that transport helps us in buying, selling and all those stuff. Okay, fine. What does communication do, Aini? Of course, communication is essential because you need to know, you have to know the manufacturers, you have to know the suppliers, you have to know the dealers. If you are going to buy raw materials, you need to know the manufacturer. Okay, he might be in a different place. Okay, he may be far off from you. You cannot go there personally or you cannot procure the items directly. You need to first set your terms and conditions. You need to talk about the cost. You need to talk about the transportation and all these things. How is it possible? It is possible through communication. We need to talk with the manufacturers or the suppliers of the raw materials or the producers. Then, while selling, do we need it? Yes, we need it. Because no organization brings it directly to the consumers and any big industry, they don't give it directly to the consumers. They need communication purpose. Even if it is a small scale industry, for example, take a small scale industry, a household industry where they make some sweets and savories at home and they sell. Even that is a small scale business. Now how will they transport it? Okay, they are transporting it. But to whom do they give it? To some dealers or to some shopkeepers. How will they get to know if the stock is less? இல்லையா, இப்போ நம்ம ஒரு ஸ்வீட் கம்பெனி வச்சிருக்கோம், நம்ம ஸ்வீட்ஸ் வந்து டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணுறோம், அது ஷாப்கீப்பர்ஸ் கிட்ட கொடுக்குறோம், அவங்க செல் பண்ணுறாங்க. வாட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ்? எனக்கு எப்படி தெரியும் அந்த ஷாப்பில் என்னோட கூட்ஸ் குறைஞ்சிருச்சுன்னு எனக்கு எப்படி தெரியும்? கேன் ஐ கோ எவ்ரி டே அண்ட் செக்? எல்லா நாளும் நான் போய் செக் பண்ணிகிட்டே இருந்தால் ஐ cannot look into the production. Okay, you cannot look into the production if you are traveling every day to check your stock. So what do we need? Communication facility. There even if you even go directly, you need communication. There you get to know it easily. என்ன பண்றோம்? Facilitate பண்ணிக்கிறோம். We get to know when the stock is getting over, how much more is required and everything, and so that communication plays a major role in trade. It helps us with trade. Okay, so what is the first auxiliary to trade? We have seen actually two. It comes together, transport and communication. And talking about communication, one more important thing is we are doing a lot of online shopping now. Okay, online business organizations are there. How do they sell? Through communication. Okay, even internet facility is a communication to us. They tell us about the product, they tell where the product is manufactured. We just sit online and we just order it over laptop or over system or over phone even. And then what happens? It comes to your doorstep. How does it happen? With the help of communication. Postal services comes under communication because you receive parcel, you receive letters. Okay, business orders are placed through letters or registered letters, couriers, all these come under communication facility. So this transport and communication facility becomes inevitable for a successful trade. And in turn, when we are talking about successful trade, where does it help us? It helps us to bring an effective and efficient business. Okay, now we are going into the second auxiliary to trade, and here also it comes as a pair. What does the pair mean here? Banking and finance. Of course, even though we have started our business with our money, we have brought in our money, but will it sustain for a long time? No. There may be people or there may be owners who would require investments or some other financial support in the middle of the business. They want to increase their production all of a sudden. Who comes in? Banks. They give you loans, right? They give you loans, they maintain your accounts, they transfer your amount. Not only do they lend you, okay? What do they do? Banks, what do? They lend you. That is, lending means what? They give you loans. Commercial banks work specifically for the purpose of business. What do these commercial banks do? They work specifically for the help of business. Now we have seen agriculturists or farmers, they apply loans. Okay, when they want to use some fertilizers, or when they want to even start harvesting, they need some technology for which they will need finance. Agriculture farmers ku kuda loans thevapadudhu. We are listening to it in news. Alright, so what do? We are loans from the banks. Is that only work? Is that the only thing they are doing? No, they are going to maintain our accounts. Where do we keep our money? We have a huge amount. Okay, we have received a profit, or we have some turnover, we have to pay the employees, so we have some money. Can we keep it in our hand always, or can we keep it in our business place? No, we cannot keep it in our industry as well as in our office. So where do we keep it? We keep it in the bank. We deposit in the bank account. So they maintain your accounts. Okay? And what do? They transfer your checks. Transferring check. They deal with your checks. Right? So you are a businessman from Chennai. Okay? For example, you are a businessman or a businesswoman from Chennai, and your supplier from whom you have taken your raw material is in Andhra Pradesh. என்ன பண்ணிருக்கோம், நம்ம வந்து சென்னையில இருக்கிற ஒரு பிசினஸ் பர்சன் நம்ம raw materials எங்க வந்திருக்கு, ஆந்திர பிரதேஷ்ல இருந்து வந்திருக்கு. And what you have to do when you procure some materials, you have to pay for it. How can you pay? Can you go all the way to Andhra to pay? And it is highly difficult because you have to carry money, you have to travel, risk factor is high. Of course, business is all about risk. There is a big element of risk, but still unwanted risk can be avoided. இல்லையா, யாருமே அதிகமான பணத்தோட டிராவல் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்க மாட்டாங்க. So what is the best way? What is the feasible way? We can issue check. Right? நம்ம check போட்டு கொடுத்துட்டோம்னா even in Andhra Pradesh they can just withdraw the cash from our account. We can make a check and we can transport it, or we can communicate it through the postal service or courier மூலமா நம்ம என்ன பண்ணிடுவோம், check வந்து pass பண்ணிடுவோம். So again there what comes here, communication comes into our head. So what does it do? It transfer our checks and payments. Even now you have online payments, you have RTGS, NEFT, so many methods of transferring money. So it makes our work easy. நம்ம banking and finance system, banks இல்லாம அது நம்ம பண்றது it is highly difficult. So banking and finance is an important auxiliary to trade as well as to industry. இதெல்லாம் auxiliary to trade ன்னு நம்ம பேசுவோமோ டிஸ்கஸ் பண்றோமோ, everything is part of industry too. Because what we have seen already, we have seen that even though we have produced the items, what do we need? We need trade. We need to sell those goods. They don't sell themselves. We have to sell. A manager should take the step for it. Management should take the step for it. So whatever we talk about auxiliaries to trade, it does not stop with commerce alone. நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம், commerceங்கிற ஒரு narrow pointல மட்டும் பார்க்காம we deal with the entire part of business. Okay? So all these auxiliaries to trade are going to deal with the business also. What is the third point that we are going to discuss here? Insurance. Even when we discussed the nature and characteristics of business, we came to know that there is an element of risk. Right? Of course, there are so many risk items here, like risk factors. For example, when transporting, we have transportation as an auxiliary to trade. But when we are transporting our raw materials or our finished goods, what happens? There is a risk of accident. Yes, of course, we cannot make sure. Risk is uncertainty. Risk. What is the meaning of risk? Uncertainty. That we are not sure that it will happen. I am sending my goods from Karnataka. I am sending my goods from Andhra Pradesh to Maharashtra. Am I sure that it will reach safely? I can pray. I can say that, okay, I hope that it reaches safely. But can you give a certainty there? No, you can't. So what you have to do? You have to insure your products. So there is risk of accidents are there, while transportation accidents are there. Even in factories we have heard many fire accidents, Bhopal gas station. So we cannot make sure that what happens at any time. Natural calamities will happen. For example, we know Coimbatore and Tirupur, they they are the highest exporters. They are known for exporting garments. They ship garments. They don't usually, their maximum choice is to ship it. They don't maximum go transfer it by air. They use the seaways. Okay. So there may be some natural calamities. The vessel, that is what we call as vessel here, the ship, might get lost, or it may delay, or there may be some damage of goods. Everything is possible, right? The risk factor is always there in business, in any business. Let it be a small scale industry or let it be a large scale industry, we have the risk factor always coming with us. Okay? Even while buying the products, we have, buying the raw materials, we have risk factor. While we are producing, we have risk factor. While we are transferring it to the next department, we have risk factor. After it was finished also, we have the risk factor. Even till the point where the consumers touch the product, till where the product reaches the consumer, we have risk factor everywhere. So what comes to our aid there? Insurance. Every time if a business person or a businessman invests the amount without knowing that it will come, it will be a real disaster. நம்ம இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ண போகிறோம், அமௌண்ட் நான் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன் பிஸ்னஸில், அண்ட் எனக்கு தெரியும் ரிஸ்க் இருக்குதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியும், அன்சர்டைனிட்டி இருக்குது, இந்த கூட்ஸ்க்கு என்ன வேணால் ஆகலான்னு எனக்கு தெரியும். ஸோ கேன் ஐ சிட் லைக் தட் இட் செல்ஃப்? முடியாது. I have to take some step to protect myself and my business organization. இல்லைங்களா? If there is a loss or if there is a damage, I have to be able to manage with it. I have to keep the business going, because we are saying business is a continuous process and a repeated activity. So I have to keep the business going. How can I make it happen? With the help of insurance. Okay, there are various insurance policies. Even if you buy mobile phones nowadays, what do they give? Insurance. On spot they give you a insurance cover. It is your option to go for it, but still they give you an option of insurance. A small mobile phone that you are going to use for your personal use has the ability of giving you an insurance backup. So that definitely a big business organization also needs insurance. Not only for the products, we need insurance facility for our employees also, because we have seen that employees are the biggest asset of the organization, right? Even though we have materials and everything, we should make sure that our employees are also safe in case of accidents or anything like that. We need to have some insurance policies for our employees also. Our employees எல்லாம் அவங்களோட ஃபேமிலிஸ்க்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுற மாதிரி ஏதோ ஒரு இன்சூரன்ஸ் பாலிசிஸ் நம்மளோட பிஸ்னஸ் ஆர்கனைசேஷனில் இருக்கு. ஓகே, so that a business organization or a manager should also take care of his or her employees. Right. The next point that we are going to discuss here is warehousing. Warehouses or warehousing. Now, what is it? Warehousing deals with the storage of your goods. Okay, storage of goods. Why is it essential? எதுக்கு நம்ம ஸ்டோர் பண்ணணும்? There are two kinds of goods: perishable, non-perishable. Okay, wow. Perishable means those things that has a very limited lifespan. Flowers, vegetables, fruits. Okay, especially food products. Best expiry date போட்டிருக்காங்க இல்லையா, medicines, they all are perishable. And perishable medicines also have a little bit of longer span, but flowers are not 2 days தான் நம்ம அதிகமாக வச்சுக்க முடியும். And vegetables and fruits, you cannot preserve them for a long time. But non-perishable items இருக்கு. Non-perishable means you have durable goods, and as well as you have normal furniture based goods also we have. Talking about warehousing, why is it essential for storage purpose? We'll take an example. We'll take uniforms. Okay, students' uniforms. Students' uniforms will be useful only during the reopening time, school reopening time. That is in the month of April. மேல தான் வந்து அதிகமாக யூனிஃபார்ம்ஸ் வந்து யூஸ் இருக்கும். சரி, ஓகே, ஒரு கார்மெண்ட் ஃபேக்ட்ரி அதுக்காக வந்து ஏப்ரல் ஒரு மார்ச் ஏப்ரலில் மட்டுமே ஒர்க் பண்ண முடியுமா? Can a business organization work only for a few months? No, it's not possible because employment opportunities and everything will get affected. So what happens? It has to go on and on and on. இதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணலாம்? We have to produce, we have to keep producing. நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்? Produce பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கோம். But அதெல்லாம் என்ன பண்ண முடியாது? Sale உடனே வந்து நம்மளால sale பண்ண முடியாது. I am producing some uniform materials in the month of October. Can it be sold immediately? No, it cannot be sold immediately. So what do? I store it. I keep it in a proper warehouse where it will be safe till the need comes. மறுபடியும் February month I can release the products. Okay, even rice, when rice is transported from one place to another place, it is not that continuous transportation irukite irukku solla mudiyadhu. For example, if you are going to take it by train, trains namakku nariya paathukom, goods trains. When we take it by train, it is not essential for it cannot be possible also, more than essentiality, talking about possibility, it is not possible for us to keep on and on. Oru train ku innoru train ku vandu there may be some time lapse. So at that time what do I do with my products? I cannot leave it there on the road. I have to take it to a warehouse where I can store it safely. A more feasible example that you will understand very easily is books, textbooks. Publishing houses என்ன பண்றாங்க? Textbooks வந்து print பண்றாங்க. But do they print it all only during the school reopen time or only when the need is there? No, they produce it, they print it all through the year and they store it. They store it properly. Why can't we keep it in the factory? Yeah, the factory la vekkakula. Why do we need a special place which is called a warehouse? Why can't I keep it in my office itself? No, it's not possible because we have what? The risk factor is there. We have the risk factor here because there may be some accidents. We need proper protection for the finished goods. It should not get mixed with the unfinished goods. You know, the industry raw materials you will have, the products in progress. Progress related products finished products. You cannot confuse them. So what you need to do? You need to separate them. Raw materials are placed progress. Products in progress should be separate and finished products should be separate. Where only comes the finished products where you put them in the warehouse. Okay, so warehousing plays a very important way in storage. You have cold warehouses also. For example, beverages, fish, all those things has to be kept in cold storage, right? So you have cold storage facilities also. Now, we have transported our buying and selling of goods. It has helped the trade. We have communicated with the manufacturers. We have communicated with the suppliers. We have communicated with the dealers. Okay, that trade help has been done. Next, we have banking and finance. What do we do with the banking and finance? We provide loans. We transfer the checks. It's an easy way of transferring payments. It helps you to keep your money safe. That hindrance of that problem is also sorted out here. What is the next thing? Risk factor. We have lots of risk in business. So what do we do here? We deal with insurance. We take the help of insurance here. And next comes warehousing. What do we do with the warehousing? Once the products are completed or once the products are finished, we store them in a proper place which is called the warehouse, where we can keep it until the need arises. Only when the need arises, we need to release our products for proper time of sales. Then finally comes advertising. Advertising, how is it going to help my trade? And that is going to be a question. All these deal with the products. Somewhere or the other, they deal with the buying and selling of products. Fine. But what is advertising doing here? It is becoming very, very essential part of any business organization. What? Advertising. What does advertising basically do? It tells you about the product. It lets the consumer know that such a product is available in the market. நம்ம வந்து ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டோம், சூப்பராக ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டோம், டைம்குள்ளே ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டோம், we have stored them in the warehouse, everything is covered, fine. But how will the end users, the consumers know about your product? How do they know? Through advertising. You need to let to know to the people that such an organization organization is there and such a product is available for sale. Not only that, you have to let them know that what are the qualities of the product, because market has lots of competitions, real competitions இருக்கும். அதில் நம்மளோட ப்ராடக்ட் பெட்டர் நம்ம எப்படி சொல்ல முடியும்? Through advertising. So where I can tell about the positive points about my product. அதனால் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? Advertising is an easy way, because you cannot go to each consumer and explain what are the benefits of your product, how to use your product. அதெல்லாம் நம்ம என்ன பண்ண முடியாது? We cannot tell to each and every consumer. So advertising reaches to a bigger crowd. It helps you to reach a bigger crowd in a very simple way. Advertising is becoming very, very innovative. Nowadays, we are using newspapers for advertising. We are using all the media forms. Actually, paper media we are using, and we are using TV. We are using radio. Have you heard jingles? You know what are jingles? Jingles are the musical format of advertising. If you are listening to radio, the radio advertisement will be little different. It will be musical. You cannot see the product, but you will be easily able to understand the product just through the explanation given by the person. Those are called jingles. Jingles are very nice, and it is a good form of advertising too. Okay, and nowadays in internet, computers, how can we forget that? The technology has developed us where we are able to know about products through internet also. How does it happen? Because business organizations know that many of us, the consumers, the customers, the end users, people are using internet. It is becoming very, very basic use for all people. So what they are doing? They are advertising through internet. So have you seen when you are searching something about, when you are browsing the internet for some information, you will get an advertisement to tell you about the product. So advertising becomes a very essential part of trade to let people know that such an institute, such an organization is there and they are selling such a product and it is available in the market from such and such date. Okay, if you take car advertisements, they tell you how many seats are there, how long it goes. An advertisement differs from one product to another product. So kindly observe when you see next time the television advertisements. Kindly observe the advertisement of a car company of a car will be different from the advertisement of a food product. So when you talk about food product, they talk about taste, they talk about no preservatives used, they talk about how safe it is, they talk about which are the age group can eat. So that is what comes under food products. When you talk about cars, what do they talk about? They don't talk about taste there, or they don't talk about any preservatives there. They talk about guarantee warranty, right? They talk about the guarantee warranty of the car. They talk about how many kilometers the car will give you the mileage for per liter of petrol, how conservative is it, how comfortable it is, right? There are different kinds of cars, so for which purpose you can use it, how many people can travel in it, what is the cost of it, where can you, what is the brand of the car, and which model it is. So car companies give advertisements like this, whereas food products give advertisements in a different way. So advertisements are not only entertaining, but they are informative. Yes, advertisements என்ன பண்ணது நமக்கு சும்மா போர் அடிக்குது இந்த ஒரு 2 programs நடுவில் வர ஒரு சின்ன பிரேக்குக்காக advertisements கிடையாது. It gives you information about the product. That is the use of advertisements. Okay, so what did we discuss so far now? We have discussed business. Already we have just quickly recalled what is business. We have quickly recalled what are the classification of business. We have industry and commerce. In industry we have primary, secondary and tertiary industry. And finally when we talk about commerce, commerce is a combination of activities that involve trade and auxiliaries to trade. Trade is nothing but buying or selling or exchange of goods and services. Auxiliaries to trade we have discussed in detail. Auxiliaries means what? The facilities or the activities that facilitates. என்னது நம்ம Then we discussed about warehousing, which involves storage of the products. And finally, we spoke about the need of advertising and how advertising helps you in trade. Okay, so I hope you have understood about auxiliaries to trade. So what is the next thing that we are going to discuss today? We are going to discuss about the objectives of business. Talking about objectives, every business organization starts on the base of an objective. Every business organization will have different set of objectives too. Now what are objectives basically? The goals, the aims towards which a business work is called the objective of any business. Talking about objectives of business, the main objective of any business organization would be what? Would be to earn profit. Because they have already discussed in the definition of business that it's an activity, it's an economic activity that helps you to earn a profit or a livelihood. So here business, when we talk about business, it is mostly with the point of profit. Okay? So what it is? We deal mostly about profit. Business profit. How does it get? Because what do we do in a business? We invest money. We invest our money, we invest time and everything. What do we expect in return? What are we going to get in return is what is called as profit. To be more in detail or to be more clear, profit is what you get more than what you have invested. What is it? Profit na invest money because profit is mostly in terms of money. Now invest money. For example, I have invested 1 lakh. So my investment level, what is my investment going to be? My investment is going to be a lakh. 1 lakh rupees now invest money again. And finally, after my sales, sales earnings or my revenue I have got 1 lakh and 10,000 rupees. After my sales, after the business, after the particular stream has completed, my revenue or my earning is 1 lakh and 10,000 rupees. What is this extra 10,000 going to do? What is this? 10,000 happening here. This is more. So this is in plus. This is in minus. So we have 10,000 rupees and this is called our profit. Okay, so what is profit? The excess of revenue. The excess of revenue than your investment. So revenue minus your cost will become your profit. What you have got more than your investment. How much ever you have got more than your investment is termed to be your profit. Every business organization works under the primary objective of profit. Now business it should have the basic objective of profit. Even business people will accept that. Businessmen, business women primary objective profit. Profit next step but see the only objective, okay, we'll accept. Profit is the primary objective. Okay, profit is the primary objective. Primary means what? Most important. Primary objective of any business. But can I survive only with profit? Profit no. Nowadays, business, the society and the nation grows a lot that even every business organization will have societal objectives too. That is, they have to serve the nation, they have to go green, they should control pollution. Like that, they will have many objectives, not only to attain profit, because profit cannot be the only one aim of any business organization. We are going to deal with profit more in detail, but before that, what is the important point that we have to understand, students? That profit, even though it is the primary objective of any business organization, it cannot be the only one objective. These objectives will differ from organization to organization. Now we are going to deal in detail profit. We all need profit. An organization cannot run without the use of profit. Without earning profit, if we do business, will it be nice? I have invested 1 lakh, but I have got less in return, or I didn't get anything in return. Means it will not be helpful for me. What do I need? I need something more. That is profit. Only then I can move on with my business. Now we are going to see why do we need profit. Profit needed. We are accepting that, and we are accepting one more point, that profit is not the only one objective. We have seen 2 points, right? Even though profit is primary, it is not the only one objective. Why do we need profit? How does profit help us? Profit is a source of income. It serves as the source of income for any businessman. Because employees, we get salary. If we are in profession, we get some money. We get some income. What is the income that a businessman is going to get? Profit is going to be the income of a businessman. It is the source of income of a businessman. From the profit, he takes a part of money as his income. Okay? So, profit is the source of income of a business person. Second point, source of finance. Okay? What is the second point? Source of finance. Although we have discussed about banking and finance, that it helps. Okay, it is going to be a liability. When the loan machinery, it's not a problem. Anytime banks are available to give you loan. But what they will charge from you? They will charge interest from you. So it becomes a liability. Kadan. Liability means what? Kadan. You are debt. You have to pay them. You are owing them. Okay. So நம்ம என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? நம்ம கிட்ட பணம் இருக்குதுன்னா, if we have our own source of finance, we don't have to approach the bank all the time. We can approach them not all the time and every time to avail some finance. So your profit, what does it help you? It helps the business organization as a source of finance for expansion. Source of finance. Why do we need source of finance? I have already said the business. Business irukku, factories irukku. I can run my own business. Why do I need new source of finance? You need a new source of finance for expansion of your business, because the market is growing, it is developing, it is increasing, the competition is increasing, and hence expansion becomes very important for any business. So you need your profit as a source of finance for helping in your expansion of business. Then comes the third point. It is the society's approval. When you get a profit, it is termed to be the society's approval of your business. When do you get profit? You already saw that. If your revenue is more than the cost. The revenue cost of when your business is approved, when the consumers are buying your product, our business grows. So then only you get profit. So when you get a profit, what does it mean? That the society has approved your business organization and it has taken you as a part of the society. So profit makes sure that you have become the society's part, and it shows that society has approved your product or your business organization. Then comes efficient working. It proves that your institute, your organization is efficiently working. Efficient means using of proper resources. When you get profit, you can make sure that you have invested your money properly, you have used the available resources properly, and that is why you were able to control the cost and get a profit. So that proves that efficiently working, your organization is efficiently working. And finally, it gives a reputation. Reputation means what? A good name, a popular name or good name. So what? Your profit limits show your good name, because basically a profit is going to tell how well your business is doing, how well it is growing. So it is going to improve your reputation. So what are the points we have discussed today? we have discussed in detail what are the auxiliaries to trade, and then we came into the objectives of business. Even though we accept that profit is the primary objective, we are still coming under the point that it is not the only one objective of business. So why is profit being called primary objective, or why is it important? Because it serves as a source of income. It helps you in expansion by becoming the source of finance. It shows that the society has approved your organization. It proves that you have efficiently worked, and finally it gives you a good reputation. So in the next class we will be discussing in detail what are the other major objectives of business. So till that, I request you all to please go through whatever we have discussed today. Thank you and have a great day.